Well, the economic shocks of the conflict are being felt far beyond the Middle East. African markets, particularly those reliant on imported petroleum products, are bracing for potential disruptions to trade, rising oil prices and strained supply chains. Analysts warn that a prolonged conflict could trigger inflationary pressures and fuel shortages, further destabilizing economies already grappling with global uncertainties. Here now is CGTN's Daniel Arap Moy with more.
The conflict between Israel and Iran is already pushing up crude oil prices and raising fears of potential supply disruptions in the Middle East. According to Goldman Sachs' recently revised assessment of geopolitical risk in oil markets, Brent crude prices could climb by $10 per barrel. Experts caution that if the Strait of Hormuz, a critical oil transit choke point that's controlled by Iran, is disrupted, prices could skyrocket.
The prices for energy goods like oil, petroleum is going to rise, and that is going to affect many African countries that primarily rely on the fossil fuel to run their industries and to power their cars in the transport industry and factories.
Oil importing countries across sub-Saharan Africa could face soaring fuel costs, which is feared could drive up inflation and strain foreign exchange reserves.
Africa has to take up a strategic repositioning to understand the dynamics of the conflict and what it means for them domestically. And this means talking to populations around what is expected and what the likelihood of this conflict is going to be.
The escalation of the Israel-Iran conflict has also reignited a critical debate about preemptive military action. Israel argues that Iran was on the verge of developing a nuclear weapon and launched what it called a preemptive strike. Some analysts argue that such strikes, justified by perceived future threats rather than immediate aggression, undermines global stability.
We have no future in unilateralism. We have no future in hegemony. We have no future in preemptive attacks. Our future is in a strong multilateral order.
As global markets hold their breath, African economies, already navigating multiple crises like high debt burdens, climate risks, and surging tariffs, face yet another test of resilience. The coming weeks will likely determine whether the region can weather the storm or the Israel-Iran conflict becomes the latest blow to its fragile recovery. Daniel Arap Moy, CGTN, Nairobi, Kenya.